My uncle asked me to help him with a noise problem he was having with a wedding hall near his house. And I said, okay, I thought it would be a part-time kind of thing which I could do from home at my own time. And so I filed a PIL under his guidance. He was quite old at the time and he was unable to go to court and so on. So I filed the PIL and unexpectedly got some very good orders in 2003. I had not expected that I will take up noise pollution and continue it seriously. It was just a kind of a small thing to do, volunteering at the time. But I started getting calls from people after the court order who had been suffering from noise pollution. And I think that's what really inspired me to take it on and do more. I started collecting data during the Ganpati festival in 2003 and realized really how bad the problem was. And I myself lived at the time in a very quiet area, and I hadn't even realized how loud it was. But when I started going out, I started to see. And then we got this order, and I met a journalist, the first journalist I had ever met outside the High Court after the order. And she published my number. And I started to get not a few calls, I got hundreds of calls. It was just before the Navratri festival, and the court had ordered that there can be no loudspeakers in a silent zone at any time. And people started calling me and they would weep on the phone. And although I had seen some noise while gathering data during Ganpati, I had not realized what kind of effect it was having on people. I saw a baby having convulsions because of the noise. I saw a woman having a psychotic fit because of the noise. And later on, over the years, I have seen people threaten to commit suicide because of noise. I've seen all kinds of things. And really, it was those people's stories which moved me to take it further. In the sheer absence of any way to really help them as an individual at the time, I suggested to them they call the police, because one of the rules states that the police is the implementing authority. And so I asked them to call the police helpline number, which is 100. And the police received so many calls as a result that they themselves set up their systems on their own at the time. And that was the first kind of formal system to complain. I had believed at the time that it would be comparatively easy to tackle organized festivals like Ganpati and Eid, and it would be more difficult to tackle things which were done on an individual level, like, for example, Diwali, because you have to reach every person to get, Diwali to be implemented. Actually, the reverse was true, because I found for things like Diwali, people were very willing to listen. When the minute they realized that their children are suffering, a lot of parents decided that they would stop giving their children firecrackers. In fact, a lot of children started demanding that they should not be given firecrackers when schools took it up, when teachers got involved, and even the government did a program which the Environment Secretary held a meeting where I was present, where they decided, and the municipal corporation as well at the time, that they would request all schools to teach their children not to use crackers, and that really helped. When it came to the organized festivals, contrary to what I had believed, people still responded by saying that they were concerned about noise. In fact, I have been to the festivals now since 2003. This is 2024. It's been 21 years this time. People, even the people actually taking part in the festivals, have always responded by saying that they are concerned that their children should not suffer, that they themselves should not suffer. Madam, is it too long? Is it too loud? Please tell us. This has been the response. Far from what people predicted, that I will be threatened, I will be accused. No, I haven't been. I mean, I have been, but not by ordinary people on the streets. What has been an eye-opener for me over the years is the political pushback, where political statements have said that it's okay to be exposed for some time, where it has become more and more evident that these processions are led and very often even organized by politicians across all party lines, and that it's that cases filed against people violating the norms are often dropped by political interference, and they don't go through the full procedure in court. That political parties organize not just festivals, but political rallies disguised as cultural events, and that they use cultural and religious sentiments to actually allow noisy events across all cultures and religions by saying that some other religion or culture should stop first. The organizers of Ganpati need to educate their own people to reduce the noise levels, which I'm happy to say that they have. It's the Ganpati organizers, the president of the Ganpati Mandals, who took up during COVID that the Ganpati Mandals would stop using DJs completely. It's the organizers of Eid-e-Milad who have instructed their own people to stop using DJs completely. The masjids of Mumbai who have said that they will stop using loudspeakers to have religious and to have the azan. They will install an app, and they will popularize the app to do it. Similarly, there have been Navratri organizers who have conducted Navratri using headphones and the other technology which is available. Loudspeakers are technology of 100 years ago today. There was a time when they were required because we didn't have mobile phones and Bluetooth and all these other devices and TV and radio and all those things available to us, where you can target populations who want to be targeted without disturbing those who don't. In 2004, I had filed an affidavit to control noise from all religious places. That includes masjids, mandirs, gurdwaras, churches, all of it, and I had recorded noise from all, which I continue to do. We got an excellent order in 2016 that noise decibel levels would be required to be maintained across all religious places, the same as from any other source. Our problem remains political involvement and the commercial gain that comes from organizing very large rallies and very large public events, which continue to create decibel levels beyond what is permissible, what is acceptable, what is good for the people of health, not only of people who are bystanders and forced to listen involuntarily, but people who are being misled into believing it's good for them and taking part in these festivals, even bringing their children to these venues, which can result in lifelong ailments, deafness, and all kinds of ill effects for children. By the time my PIL came up for final hearing in 2016, my one PIL had become 10 PILs across all types of noise, not only festivals, but railways, construction, traffic, everything, firecrackers, all of it. So that just shows how religious places, very importantly, it just shows how important noise from all sources has become. The courts have passed an order that noise from all sources have to be equally tackled. Our problem remains in implementation, and it remains in implementation, particularly in particular types of noise. In 2011 or so, the first noise barriers were put up in BKC. I measured the noise inside and outside. There was a drop of almost 16 decibels. And that is huge because noise is measured on a logarithmic scale. And by logarithmic scale, that means that a 10 decibel increase increases the pressure of sound on your ear, which is how you measure it, how you feel it, by almost double. So a difference between 80 and 90 decibels, for example, is doubling the pressure on your ear and is causing you much more pain. When you cross about 100 decibels, you're starting to lose hearing very quickly. Deafness is not a simple thing that, oh, I can't hear you and you should talk a little louder. It's not so simple. Deafness these days has been connected with dementia, with Alzheimer's disease, with a host of other problems. Lack of sleep, which sound also does to you, has been connected with inability to learn. It has been with inability to concentrate, to serious effects on your career path, to rise in adrenaline levels, which gives rise to anger and all those other things, blood pressure, heart disease, everything is connected with noise.